Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and this evening we'll have a look at the latest GFS, GM, ECMWF, then we'll have a look at some precipitation charts and the live radar, as it does look like we've got some more very heavy rain coming up tomorrow. Do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and do remember to follow me on Twitter as well, link is in the description. So if we do run through the latest GFS, is this low pressure over sort of in the Bay of Biscay at the moment is going to be giving us some problems, especially in southern parts of the country over the next 24 hours. You see, it does run up, but it is sort of filling in as it does, so it's producing quite intense thunderstorms over France at the moment. But as it moves northwards, it's really going to slowly dissipate and sort of stall with its weather fronts over the top of the southern part of the UK, and it could dump a lot of rain over sort of 12-hour period tomorrow. If we do run through the GFS, you can see high pressure just starts to build in, but you see the direction of the airflow is coming in from the northwest, so it's not particularly warm, and again see another low sort of dropping across the country. However, as we head towards day 10, you see some hot air tries to push in, but never really makes it, and you can see pretty much for the whole run, we're in and out of Atlantic airstreams. Although the upper air temperatures are pretty on the mild side, it's never really going to feel very hot or even warm, as it does look like the air is going to be coming in off a fresh North Atlantic, and we're never really going to get too much of a respite of some rain, cloud, and cooler sort of windier conditions. So it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing anything too settled. But again, it's one GFS run, and we'll have to see how it compares to the other models. If we have a look at the GM, see that weather front moving up over the next sort of day or so, and then we do again go quite westerly. There is quite a lot of high pressure around, so it doesn't look like there's going to be any more massive deluges of rain, but still showers and cloud around. And you continually see that sort of northwest airflow. But you can see as we head towards day 10, the high pressure is centred more towards the UK. And we could see a couple of days there where the centre of the high is over the UK with clear skies, reasonably warm upper air temperatures, where we could see temperatures get into the mid-20s. But we'll have to keep an eye on that as it is towards day 10. But at day 10, you can see again, another system is coming in off the Atlantic, likely to sweep that warmer air away with some cooler conditions, cloud, rain and wind. If we do have a look at the ECMWF, you can see, again, very similar over the next few days. High pressure trying to build in, but you see this sort of low plunges in from the north, bringing quite cool, even cold air with it. And we could even see some quite low temperatures with that, feeling pretty chilly along north and northeastern coast, feeling probably only like 10, 12, 14 degrees or so, which is pretty chilly for this time of year. Beyond that, as we head into next weekend, you can start to see high pressure topples in with some warmer air, but again, always got sort of that northwest airflow. So even though the upper airs are reasonably warm, it's always we're always bringing in some cooler air. Or it's always coming from sort of over a cool sea, so at surface level, it's still going to feel pretty chilly. And then even towards the middle of next week, you see high pressure trying to take control, but northwesterly wind still pushing in. You see the upper airs are reasonably hot. But I do suspect on the surface it's not going to be that warm, as we're going to be seeing mixing of the air with those stronger winds, and we're likely to see some cooler temperatures at the surface, at least further northwards and further westwards, where we've got that immediate wind. Further southwards and eastwards, the wind could be diminished as it heads over land, and that's where we could see temperatures rise towards day 10. We're starting to see hints of that. But at this stage, that's for the sort of right at the end, the last couple of days of June. But at this stage, it doesn't look like anything too warm and too settled is coming. And if we do have a look at the GFS ensembles, you can see that rail reflected. You can see over the next day, we're going to see a quite big deluge, perhaps another half-inch of rain in sort of southern areas. Again, it depends on how northwards the band of rain extends. We'll have a look at precipitation in a minute. Beyond that, you can see the temperature is generally about around average. So nothing too cool, but nothing too warm at the same time. Dry days still could get temperatures into the 20s. Cooler days with some cloud and some showers. Temperatures may struggle in the high teens. You can see precipitation-wise, still a lot of precipitation around, nothing too dry, but again, no massive deluge spikes standing out at this stage, or at least consistent deluge spikes. So looking encouraging that at least there will be some drier weather here or there. But with the surface water coming tomorrow, we could still see some flooding over the next few days. We've had a lot of rainfall, especially in the south and southeast. If we do have a look at the 2-meter temperatures, you can see tomorrow under that rain, temperatures struggling to 12 or 13 degrees potentially in the London area, feeling very chilly indeed. Beyond that, where we start to see more sunshine, some warmer upper air temperatures. Temperatures will get around 20 degrees, maybe a bit warmer with more sunshine and less showers and cloud. Perhaps cooler where we do see more cloudier days, some drizzle, some showers. So it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag, but it doesn't look like any heat waves coming along, and it does look like the sort of big deluges we've been seeing over the last few days as a result of thundery activity and sort of weather fronts coming up from systems in from the south. It does look like that's going to stop with the airflow coming in from a north or northwesterly direction. If we do have a look now at precipitation, we'll have a look at the icon run over the next few days just for that rain tomorrow. You can see that weather front's quite strong, and it's going to be initially made up of thunderstorms that are forming over northern France at the moment. But as they reach the UK, there won't be any thunder activity, and it will be just a general area of quite heavy rain. It does look like it's going to stall over southern England while it fizzles out towards tomorrow afternoon. Sort of M4 line southwards, so that's sort of across from sort of the Bristol area through London, through Essex. That's the sort of a line where we're going to see the northern extent of the heaviest rain. There could be more cloud and rain further northwards, but I wouldn't expect some particularly heavy rain further northwards than that. But again, we'll have to keep an eye. You do see it does start to extend into East Anglia later in the day, but it is fizzling out and sort of diminishing. And then we start to see those northwesterly winds come in by the end of the week with more showers. No massive deluge, but just more areas of rain and showers. If we do have a look at precipitation accumulation over the next day or so, you can see in the south, widely around maybe half an inch of rain, so sort of 12 millimetres, perhaps a bit more, right across the immediate south coast, and you can see over the channel, that's where we're seeing potentially an inch or two of rain. So if that does come further onshore, further northwards, we could be seeing some heavier rain and some potentially more surface flooding. So we just have to keep an eye on exactly where that band does form, or that band does stall at least, and where its heavier pulses are. So anywhere sort of in southern England tomorrow, it does look like it's going to be a pretty miserable, cool and wet day. Beyond that, if we now have a look at the arpège for that as well, you can see that rain does stall, but some lighter stuff does get further north all the way into sort of the Midlands and East Anglia as well, which is interesting to see. Beyond that, though, you see it does diminish and it slowly heads further southwards and sort of peels away. And then we see showers come in from the northwest. Now, one encouraging thing, some people will say, it does look like horrible for the south tomorrow. After that, as we saw with the ensembles, generally sort of southern areas and London especially, coming in from a northwesterly wind is unlikely to see as many showers, is more likely to stay dry. We'll have more cloud around, of course, with the air coming in off the Atlantic. More moisture will form more cloud. But where we do see breaks in that cloud, probably the south and southeast and east of the country in general, probably is likely to see the best temperatures over the next sort of week to 10 days, at least in the short time frame, which does look like northwesterly winds are likely to sort of prevail. Lastly, we have a look at the UK Met Office run. Again, the model used mainly for the UK Met Office app, their forecast and their warnings as well. You can see that rain band heading up from the south, stalling over southern England, a bit more fragmented on the UK Met Office run, but really does only show the heavier pulses. You can see some quite heavy rain in Kent perhaps, and southwestern parts, and then eventually sort of diminishing through sort of mid-afternoon. But there's some areas in the southern England could have heavy rain for a good 8 to 12 hours here. So it does look like it could be pretty miserable in some regions tomorrow. You could see another half inch of rain. Again, watch out for surface flooding as we've had those thunderstorms and the heavy rain over the last sort of 3, 4, 5 days. And that could mean river levels are quite high already, and we could see some temporary flooding, and the soil is pretty saturated as well. So do mind out if you're out driving or walking. There's probably likely to be mud around, surfaces are likely to be slick, and there could be some issues. But beyond that, it does look like as that rain clears, generally in the south and southeast going to be going drier. Still will be showers around, of course, but generally it's the north and the west that's going to be favoured for those showers with the northwesterly wind. Further southwards and eastwards, probably with higher temperatures. If we do look at the higher temperatures, for example, next Friday, you can see perhaps in the southeast we could be seeing 24, 25 degrees with a slither of hotter air coming in, but further northwards and westwards, maybe high teens at best, in parts of Scotland, Northern England, low teens. So pretty cool, and the southeast is probably going to be the best position with those northwesterly winds over the next week or so. If you finally have a look at the live radar, and we can see the weather front forming over northern France at the moment, it is generally an area of thunderstorms where we've got this low pressure system. However, it's going to be moving northwards, eventually will stall, and we will see that heavier rain. You can start to see it moving into the sort of the southwest as we speak, and will arrive in most areas throughout tomorrow morning. Again, not expecting any thunderstorms. We perhaps could see some heavy rain, but there won't be any lightning activity tomorrow. So just generally heavy rain, cloud, and pretty miserable conditions for most of the day in southern areas. For the northwards, probably more pleasant, and could see some sunshine around. But even in the Midlands, it's likely to be cloudy if the rain doesn't push that too far northwards. Will be a lot of cloud around. If the rain does push northwards, it could be wet and damp at times. So it's not looking a particularly good day tomorrow. But beyond that, it does look like things will pick up, at least further southwards and further eastwards. Further northwards and westwards, there's going to be periods of rain. There's going to be north-westerly winds, but it's nothing too unusual for this time of year to get about with westerly winds every now and again. So hopefully, though, as we head into end of June and July, high pressure does start to build in, and we could see some higher temperatures. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.